Hey guys, welcome back to the Roadworks channel. On today's video, I planned on doing a whole video on restoring Ned's old gas tank. I started cutting it up. I went through the whole process of making a video on it, and I actually got great input from some people on Instagram, or one person in particular that gave me great advice, because when I cut the tank open, I noticed that it was really rusty on the inside. Well, like you would expect from a gas tank that's been in the woods for 35 years, it looks really bad. So I kind of gave up on trying to fix it because I thought it was way too rusty. So the advice that I got was to put a bunch of rocks, nuts, glass, a whole bunch of things that would be abrasive inside the tank, and hook it up to my cement mixer. So that didn't work out that great, because it did clean a lot of the rust out of it, but what it ended up doing is actually revealing a lot of the rust holes that were peppered through the whole tank. Mostly on the bottom, but definitely a lot of different areas. So it would have required a bunch of repair work, which I didn't think was worth it. So that video, I ended up being a bust, and I ended up buying a new tank and some other parts, a new fuel pump, and some other parts for the Jeep. So in this video, I decided to just do a quick short video. I'm finding that when things start going bad, it's good to just, stop, reboot, reset yourself up, and do a small project. That's the way that you get something little done, and you can keep progress going, and you don't get too discouraged when something goes wrong. So in today's video, I want to redo the rings that go around the headlights. It would be much easier just to buy new ones, but I like the challenge of using the original ones, especially if they are able to be fixed. I've already done one of them, but I'll show you the process that I did, because I used that one as kind of like an experimental to see if they're actually able to be fixed, unlike the gas tank. So I'll show you what I actually came up with, how to fix these. All right, so as you can see, this looks really bad. The top looks really good. That's actually all solid. But the bottom, where you would expect it would be bad, is all rotted. It must be where the water accumulated and just sat right here. I mean, it did sit in the woods for 35 years, so I guess that's pretty understandable. So I think I'm gonna make a cut here and follow it right around here, because it gets pretty solid right up here. So I'll try to save that. Bring that around. I'd like to save where this hole is if I can. So I'll bring this right down here. All right, so now I'm gonna cut that out with the abrasive wheel. The tricky part of this is gonna be trying to make that curve. So it curves this way and it curves down this way. So I grabbed this scrap piece of 18 gauge steel, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace the good part that's not rotted, just to get this curve, so I know what this curve is. So that's the easiest way to find that one. Now I'll cut that out. All right, so now I just have to make this curve. Now I just got to figure out a way to form this. And what I came up with is using a vise and opening the jaws a little bit and using a ball peen hammer and form that in place. So now I'm going to trace out that mark, but I'm going to keep it a little long because I can always grind that off after. And I brought the curve back even further, so we shouldn't run out of curve by the time we weld this in. All right, now I'm going to just weld it up. This metal is so thin that I run the temperature really low and make it so that I'm barely penetrating. And I actually use the coat hangers work really good for this. It just adds that little extra bit of metal. And I actually work from the good metal and very slowly or very quickly go to the old metal before I burn. All right, well that looks really ugly, but my main objective was to weld it together and put enough filler metal where I can shape this now. So what do you think? I don't think they came out too bad. You know, I'm my worst critic because I can actually see some of the spots that are a little screwed up. But all in all, I think it looks pretty good. I painted them black. I know a lot of these are usually chrome, but I'm kind of going with the black, and it's going to be orange color. I can hide a lot of imperfections with that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today in the garage. Thinking the next video, let me show you what we're going to do in the next video. On the next video, I want to do the whole fuel system. I have a new tank that I got. Well, I actually got it on eBay, and I got a steel fuel line. We're going to work on running that over to the fuel pump. And I actually got a new fuel pump, so we'll install that. And while I have this fender off, I had a question on one of the comments about the steering linkage hitting the master cylinder. And I looked at it and it's real close, but it doesn't actually hit on mine. But we'll get a closer look at it once we have the fender off. I also got a lot of the, some of the components for the, like the air cleaner cleaned up and painted. Those are ready to be put in. And I have the clutch and brake pedal put in. I might do a couple of short videos. I'm going to try out some of the shorts on when I install those. So that's coming up. And I think we're really close for a test ride. My ultimate goal is to get this so I can move it in and out of the garage, because when we get snow, I like to keep my tractor in here and able to plow my driveway. So that's the goal. Even if I have to do a quick wiring setup, I want to get this running so I can get it in and out of the garage. Well, that's going to be it for today, guys. That video hopefully will be up by next week. I want to actually do I want to primer the whole inside of the tub and get that prepped so I can do a permanent set for that gas tank. But thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you on the next video.